Hello everyone and welcome to the recording of our Who Was trivia. This is a tricky one, so I hope you know your historical figures. Best of luck. You will have 20 seconds to answer. As always, the faster you get the answers in, the more points you get, although of course you're keeping track of your own points at home. So here we go. All right. So our first question popping up here. Who was this former U.S. president involved in the Watergate scandal? Was there Gerald Ford, Bill Clinton, Richard Nixon, or Lyndon B. Johnson? These are all based on the popular Who Was books. Not that you won't know it if from just general knowledge, but if you're interested in learning more about any of these historic figures, you can come on in. Check out those Who Was books. So Richard Nixon was the correct answer. Congratulations if you got that one right. On to our next question. Who was the American astronaut famous for first setting foot on the moon? Was it Yuri Gagarin, Alan B. Shepard Jr., Neil Armstrong, or Buzz Aldrin? So famous for first setting foot on the moon. Just getting you acquainted with a nice easy warm-up here, so hopefully you know this one. It was, of course, Neil Armstrong. On to question 3. Who was this French painter who is sometimes called the father of modern art and is famous for his paintings of nature? Was that Pablo Picasso, Claude Monet, Vincent van Gogh, or Leonardo da Vinci? Famous French painter, the father of modern art. So do your best. So that one was Claude Monet. Well done if you got that one. Question 4. What is the name of these siblings who collected and preserved fairy tales? So was it the James brothers, the Austen sisters, the Brothers Grimm, or the Bronte sisters? Who collected and preserved fairy tales? Like the one we see above with Little Red Riding Hood. So that was the Brothers Grimm. Hopefully you've heard of them. It can be a little interesting in some of their stories. All right, question 5. Who was this famous American responsible for planting thousands of apple trees for pioneer families to enjoy? Was it John Chapman, Davy Crockett, Paul Bunyan? I'm not sure why we can't see the fourth answer there, and that's actually a little bit problematic. But the correct answer is, of course, John Chapman, otherwise known as Johnny Appleseed. So hopefully that lack of answer helped you out. Normally he's not known as John Chapman. Who was this famous American who co-founded Apple and later Pixar? Was that Walt Disney, Steve Jobs, or Bill Gates? You only have 3 choices to choose from, so hopefully that helps you out. So that one was Steve Jobs. And there's a movie about that, I believe. So again, check that out if you're curious. So Betsy Ross is famous for designing what important U.S. symbol? So Betsy Ross. Is it the Washington Monument, the American flag, Liberty Bell, or Mount Rushmore? 5 seconds left. Get those answers in quick. So Betsy Ross is famous for designing the American flag. So congratulations if you got that one right. And we're coming up on halfway through. Question 8. Who is this English rock star famous for his crazy sunglasses, flashy outfits, and heeled shoes? Is that Prince, Jimi Hendrix, Elton John, or Elvis? So all pretty famous musicians. Who is famous for those sunglasses, flashy outfits, and heeled shoes? So Elton John best matches those criteria. So congratulations if you got that one correct. All right, question 9. Who was this global icon who inspired a civil rights movement in India? Is that Martin Luther King Jr., Mahatma Gandhi, Nelson Mandela? Global icon. So that one was, of course, Mahatma Gandhi. Well done if you got that one right. Coming up on question 10. Who was this famous American inventor and founding father, most famous for his experiment involving a kite? Is that Albert Einstein, Ben Franklin, John Hanson, or Thomas Jefferson? Take your best guess. 5 seconds left. And hopefully you're able to get Ben Franklin correct. I'd urge you to look up the kite experiments. It's pretty interesting. Who was this Brooklyn Dodgers player who first broke color barriers in Major League Baseball? Is this Hank Aaron, Jackie Robinson, Willie Mays, or Babe Ruth? Part of the fun of putting this presentation together was learning all these things. I'm very much not a sports person, but I tried to get a little snippet of lots of different segments. It's pretty fun learning about people. So this correct answer was, of course, Jackie Robinson. Hopefully you're able to grab that one. Coming up on question 12. Who was the woman famous for flying solo across the Atlantic Ocean? Was that Amelia Earhart, Raymond de la Roque, Jacqueline Cochran, or Bessie Coleman? Famous woman flying solo across the Atlantic. 2, 1. So that was, of course, Amelia Earhart. Well done if you got that one right. Question 13. Which American patriot, messenger, and spy rode his horse to warn the British are coming? Was that John Adams, Paul Revere, Samuel Adams, or Patrick Henry? A very famous poem about this. So that one was Paul Revere. Congratulations if you got that one. Nearing the end of our trivia. Question 14. What did Alexander the Great do? Did he invent plastic, conquer most of the known world, inspired the world with music, or was he a world champion ping pong player? Alexander the Great. So if you were not already aware, he conquered most of the known world. And finally, our last question of the night. Question 15. Who was the boxer who won the heavyweight boxing title 3 times and floated like a butterfly but stung like a bee? Was that Muhammad Ali, Babe Ruth, or Usain Bolt? This famous heavyweight boxer. All right, so that one was Muhammad Ali. So not too bad, hopefully. Best of luck to you guys at home, and we hope to see you in person the next time we do a trivia. Have a great night.